It's the Opie and Anthony Show. Fallout Boy, I don't care. Catchy as hell, Pete. Pete Wentz in studio. How are you, sir?
Pretty good. Getting up for the day, I guess.
I hear you.
Too early or what?
No, I'm still on LA time, so it's like 4:30, I guess.
Yeah, then it's even better.
Right now, it's early for me.
Do you wake up or just kind of stay up?
No, I wake up. Yeah. I wake up. I try to get
You get a few hours sleep in?
Yeah.
Not living that rock star thing where, you stay up all hours and don't wake up till noon.
No, not really. I guess the big elephant in the room is that I have a kid.
Yeah.
So it's a little harder to do that.
Seemed like a good idea at the time, huh?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where I'm up every 3 hours anyway, so it's not that big of a deal.
You were the DJ at a party I was at. It was the UFC party when Forrest Griffin beat Rampage Jackson that weekend, and it was Dana White. It was the worst party ever. There was like 90 guys and 2 prostitutes dancing with UFC guys. It was the worst. It wasn't the music that was bad. It was just the fact there were no chicks there. What the hell is the UFC doing?
I don't know. I know that I played a lot of really bad 80s music. I remember that. That was one of the problems. I remember the music was a little too quiet.
Yeah.
And I remember when Rampage walked by me, I thought I was literally going to be murdered. I was like 4 inches away from him, and it was the scariest moments of my life.
That was the fight where he had problems afterwards, right?
Yeah, he was probably on his energy drink binge by that point.
Because we've had him in, and he couldn't have been nicer and sweeter. We love Rampage.
Yeah.
And we hear he's back on track, which is very, very good news.
No, the problem wasn't the music. It wasn't the music at all. It was literally Dana's invite guest was all men, and I was very creeped out by it. It was just me and stupid Bob Kelly standing there.
You would think the women would love the UFC thing, right?
You'd think.
But no.
No.
All right, we're going to have to... Dana's a good friend of ours. We're going to have to call him and ask him about that.
I think they like some of the guys, but then they watch it for 2 seconds and realize that they're complete maniacs.
Yeah.
They kind of think, they probably picture in their head, I burned dinner one night. What's that going to be like?
Yeah.
There's no tapping out on the kitchen floor. You're pretty much taking your beating.
Well, this is what I do for a living. What's wrong, right?
Yeah.
We have, I guess we have to ask you, because our Sam put pictures of your penis, which, look, we've all done it. I mean, please, what's the use of technology if not to do that and send it to somebody? Of course.
What is the point of a camera phone, right?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
What happened? Did the fan you send it to, like give it out, or did it, how did that get out?
Well, what I think, the way I think it got out was it was sent to an ex-girlfriend, and I think that is how it got out. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, whatever. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, you must have leaked it on your own because it's like it makes your band way bigger, this and that. I'll be honest. There's a lot of better ways to make your band bigger than you. It's like having the entire world walk in on you taking a dump.
It doesn't hurt, though.
How can an ex-girlfriend not be trusting?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, too, that what you should have done is, because the giveaway is the tattoo, because you got the stomach tattoo. It's like, next time you do that, you should just leave the T-shirt down. Make sure the tats are covered. If the tats are covered, they can never prove it's your hobby.
Jim's a pro at this.
Jim knows how to do this the right way.
I always position my camera so there's no giveaways. There's nothing with me in the room.
It's like your new book is right there.
Yeah, exactly. Or there's like a mirror showing my fat face on the side. I always make sure it's just...
You ever see some of those things? I don't know if they're scams or not, but an old teapot that was being sold on eBay, and you could see the guy's reflection in it as he was taking the picture of it, and he's completely naked.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You could see a subtle reflection of him, just gut hanging out. Schlong.
That is crazy.
It's the kind of reaction you get from that. You get like, hey, hi, how you doing?
So, John Mayer's...
Nice one, something like that.
John Mayer's... Oh, go ahead.
Well, Anthony's asking about Pete's compliments on his penis.
Yeah. Asking if you've gotten compliments.
I mean, I don't know. People always talk to me about it and, whatever, think it's, I've gotten past it, whatever. There was, a 24-hour period where I was, literally didn't want to talk to anybody, but now I don't really care. It's kind of funny. It's it's weird because, when you're on tour, and you're in arenas, you take, jailhouse showers. That's what the showers are set up like. Mm-hmm. And now I don't care about it at all. It's like I can just walk around and it doesn't really bug me, Before it was like, oh my God, I better wear my, bathing suit in there. Now it's like, everybody's seen the machinery. I might as well. It doesn't really matter,
Just Scrub-a-dub.
Yeah.
Was that the first one you took and sent? Because I'll just describe the pictures briefly, not to harp on them in a homoerotic fashion, but I believe me, I understand the setup. There's a lot of angles you got to take. You want it to look very natural and
impressive.
Yet, you don't want it to look like you just stepped out of a freezing shower.
You got to prepare it properly.
Were these just like the first shots you took, or was there a couple that you took that you deleted? You're like, no, that's no good. That's no good.
I'm sure I did.
Yeah.
I mean, the beauty of the camera phone is that you take a bad angle and you're like, oh man, I should have shot my dong from the left side. You know. I don't know.
I actually positioned a midget next to mine. So it just looked.
One of those small cans of Coke.
Yeah, like a little mini Baby Ruth bar. All right, good. So, what were you saying about John Mayer?
Well, we're trying to figure out this guy crush thing there, Pete, to be completely honest with you. Sam, what were you saying just before Pete came in? I want to make sure we don't misrepresent this.
No, I just said when I was doing my research online, it said that what he said was that above the waist, it's all good, but below the waist on guys, he's not interested in that.
Right. But you would kiss another guy?
I think this was said probably, about 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. And that was more in a... It was kind of like a shock value thing, but it was kind of more in the way that, I'd be going down the street and someone would be like, hey, you're a... I don't want to say it on air, whatever word for gay people.
Derogatory
term for gay people. And I'd be like, if that's the worst someone's going to say about me, I'm going to be like, yeah, sure, I am one. Who cares? Whatever. But, there was never a point where I was like, hey, I'm really into men or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, can I sit here and tell you, Johnny Depp, I know Johnny Depp's a good-looking guy? Yeah, he is. I think he is a good-looking dude, whatever. Do I want to, give him a BJ? No.
Would you snuggle with him?
No.
All right. It's because the weird thing is, when I was a kid, I had this thing with Kiss when I was a little boy, and it was almost like I have to look at it and go, that it was beyond just being a kid liking. Did I have a thing for them? I wanted them to hug me. It wasn't like I just rocked out with
as
them.
a band?
Yes.
The whole band? There wasn't just one guy?
I think Paul was my favorite.
Paul?
Yeah, of course, but I wanted them to hurt me.
Run your fingers through his hairy chest?
No, I didn't want to do that. But
No?
No.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Okay, just asking.
Or maybe we think that anytime you have an affectionate feeling for another man, that there's got to be some homoeroticism to it, and it's not.
Right.
Yeah, it's not. You could just be buddies.
But you wanted to be held by Kiss. I mean,
Yes,
you
very
tell
much.
that classic story where you... What was it? It was a dream or something?
No, it was a recurring daydream where
Fantasy.
Kiss would beat me, and this is the truth. They would hurt me and throw me down the stairs with their makeup on, and then they would hug me and love me and make everything better while I cried. And that was when I was 7 and 8 years old.
Ghoul you
That
are.
was my recurring fantasy. Is that they would, it's all right, and they would just comfort me and wipe my tears. It's just
But
creepy.
they did it.
Have you guys had him in?
Oh, yeah, and he made
Many
me actually tell
times.
Paul Stanley the story. It was
Yeah, many
humiliating.
times. Yeah.
And
That's
Paul
awesome.
hugged me. Yeah, it was kind of nice.
Paul
That's
hugged
awesome.
you. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but Anthony hates Gene Simmons. But let's not bring it up right now.
Gene is a tool.
That could take away from the Pete Wentz interview that
course.
is going down right now.
You now in 2005, is this accurate? We never know if our stuff is accurate or not. Did you really take an overdose on purpose? Was that were you really going to check out?
I think it was like a shut my head off kind of thing. I've never sat here. Everyone else sat here and said, oh, it's a suicide attempt. You were trying to kill yourself. But you know what? At that point of my life, I just wanted to turn my head off. I wanted to turn my brain off, kind of.
What was going on with it?
Man, so much. I was, I was being prescribed a lot of stuff, and I was mixing them together because I thought I knew better than the doctor, and the more stuff you mix together, the stranger your brain chemistry gets, and you start thinking weird things. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't smart. I wouldn't recommend anyone do it. I'm glad a lot of people were like, "Yo, that was your best record. Those are the best shows I ever saw." Like, dude, those 4 years or 3 years of my life were a total haze where I hated myself and didn't want to be around. And so I'm glad I made it out. And so for when people go, "Oh, that was awesome," it's kind of always weird for me because I'm like, I didn't even like myself then at all.
Hey, I got to ask you, what was the weirdest ththought you had during that period that you could remember? Because I think that's really, really interesting.
Man, a lot of times I was taking I was taking like Klonopin, and then I was taking Xanax. I was taking Klonopin, and then I was taking Ambien, and I would have all kinds of, like, the Ambien ones were weird. I had to have my friends record me because I would just say weird stuff. Like, there was one where I was like, it was recording where I was like, oh, you want to talk to Pete? You can't talk to Pete right now. He's not here right now. You can't talk to Pete, or whatever. It's like, Ambien's a weird thing, man. Like, don't take that and stay up. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah, that's why they
weird,
say,
a real
fall asleep after you take it.
Yeah, a real weird side of you comes out.
Yeah. Huh.
I knew somebody who would night cook on Ambien.
What's night cook mean?
Would get up and start cooking. And not finish things and go to sleep.
Right.
And, the stove would be on fire.
People, I hear about it. Like, there's night sex. Jack Nicholson talks about how he woke up in his car, out just like out behind his house or whatever, and he was like, I'm not gonna take that anymore, So.
Now, when you said you were like trying to shut off the head, because I kind of been there at one point, so I definitely get that. Were you saying like, all right, I'm going to take X amount of things, and you took it, and what actually what was happening that night, or what stopped the process? Like, what stopped it?
I was on the phone with my manager, and he heard me slurring my words, and at that point I didn't, drink at all, and it was like he knew something was going on, and I was being really weird or whatever, and he called my mom. Mom called me, and my mom, it's kind of like a lame whatever story, but like that's just how it happened. My mom picked me up and went to the hospital, and the rest is history, I guess.
They pump your stomach?
Yeah, they do the charcoal thing, and whatever. It's not a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, I did that stuff when I was a teenager, the cutting thing, but then it was bad, and I knocked on the door and woke my parents. It's like embarrassing. You look back on it.
So embarrassing.
Yeah.
I'm cutting.
Yeah,
I'm a cutter.
Yeah, notice me.
It's so embarrassing.
You couldn't just wait until someone noticed. You had to be like,
That's the part that's humiliating.
Yeah,
if they had just busted in on a whim and seen me laying there, like, all right, I gave it a shot, and whatever, I missed. But this was one where I was like, I just wanted a little attention, and then I knocked.
I'm a cutter because of you.
Oh, just.
Yuck.
So I'm always interested in other people's.
Yeah,
vibes.
sometimes you got to kind of not think so much. Don't you think like people that are kind of stupid or kind of lucky?
Totally.
It's like I hate when you're sitting there and thinking too much. That's why I get goofed on a lot, because I leave the TV on at night and I fall asleep with something on, because I don't like just laying there with my own thoughts. Sometimes they run to nasty places.
No, me too. And it's like, it's bonkers, because it's like at that point it's like I feel like anxiety generalizes so fast. It's like I wasn't flying on airplanes, and then soon I didn't want to get in cars. I didn't want to get on elevators.
Wow.
You become agoraphobic.
Yeah, it happens so fast, and it's like, I don't know. I think a lot more people go through it than, at some point in their life than the world would like to admit. And the funny thing about, I think about America is we want people to be happy all the time, and like, we never want people to be like, it's okay that you're down, you're feeling kind of crummy, let's get you feeling better, rather than just being like, put on a smile, you know what I'm saying? Like, figure out your life.
Yeah, I went through some crap like that with anxiety for like a couple of years, and never understood it, where it came from, or what the hell, or like what it would do to you if you let it just go. You always think you're going to end up in a straitjacket, running around a padded room. And then I remember one day I was just so fed up with it.
Did it just click off?
No, I said to myself, okay, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I'm going to rip my clothes off, run down the street, and end up in a mental institution. Go ahead. I don't care at this point.
Right.
And nothing happened. And then after that, it got better.
Yeah, I literally could not, like, when our band was breaking, like, from under the cork tree, I could not get on an airplane. Like, we drove everywhere.
Wow.
And everyone was like, it's going to end. One day it's just going to click off and you're going to be fine. And I swear to God, one day it just did.
Did the rest of the band fly?
Yeah. But some of them were nice guys and would ride with me, give me company.
Right.
Yeah, the first time I flew in years, and it was because of anxiety, was when we had to go out to L.A.
For the X Games?
No. That was the first time we flew to Boston from Boston to L.A.
Oh, gotcha. Right.
That was the first time in years I had flown, because I always put it off. I was petrified, And then I had to get on this plane because it was, a great gig.
And you can't really drive cross country when you have to be there by Monday.
That's why I drank a case of beer before I even walked on the airplane.
Well, that explains a lot of things now.
Oof.
They cut them off on the plane. How many people get cut off on a plane?
I was nice about it.
No, 2 people in history, you and Richard Reed, the shoe bomber, have been cut off from alcohol on a plane. I had a paralyzing fear of it, too. It's like I thought it was going to hurt my career. Like, 'cause I would not get on a plane, and I finally said, "Okay, I'll fly." I had to go to a festival in Denver, and we're halfway through the flight, and they're like, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem with the fuel transfer. We're gonna have to make an unscheduled landing in Chicago." So they're jettisoning fuel out the wings, and this is like when I finally muster up the courage to get on a plane.
Yeah.
And they have to shoot fuel out and then land. It was hard. It was hard. And the woman next to me was really old, and she had dumpster breath. I'll never forget the old lady with horrible breath sitting next to me.
We're going to light the fuel so it looks cool. What?
Yeah, those guys can handle it. They might as well make it look cool for everybody else.
So you're married?
I am.
And you have a kid. It's almost like a normal life. Is it like is it changing the way you do business outside, or has it changed nothing?
What do you mean as far as business?
Just touring and the way you carry yourself in the career. I mean, aside from the obvious, you have to get less sleep.
Yeah, I mean, I find myself going into dad mode. Like, we're playing shows and I see kids in the front row getting crushed, and I'm like, the dad in me wants to be like, "Hey, chill out, calm down a little bit." Yeah,
That's
we
so
just kind of
odd,
That is weird.
It's weird. It's weird because it's like it flips on too. It's the most cliche thing. Everyone's like, it changed. It does. You are gonna change, but I swear to God, it really is true.
Yeah, my brother said that because he just had a kid, and he's like, "Yeah, when I gotta leave, go on a gig or something like that." He goes, she'll look at me and stuff, and I could kind of tell this thing is starting where it's like she kind of knows I'm going somewhere. And he goes, when it gets to the point where she's like, "Oh, do you have to go, Daddy?" He goes, "That's going to be a problem."
Really?
Yeah. This is my brother who didn't give a flying F about anything.
Just to do his drugs.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And then, boom, he has a kid, and I always call it falling asleep next to the bean pod in, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Because it's like, no, I don't want to do this, I don't want to. And then you wake up, it was all fine. Please join us. Why didn't you? And then you're a dad, and everything revolves around your kid.
Yeah,
I'm not.
You're living for someone else. It's strange.
So I could, run off places and do whatever the hell I want.
What? This might sound like a stupid Charlie Rose question. I'm curious because I'm not a parent. What one quality in yourself, or what part of your personality, would you really not want to pass on?
I would definitely not want to pass on my. I think I have a big mouth. I tend to talk a lot, and I have a short fuse. I wouldn't want to pass on either of those. I'm also a short guy, so that's the physical trait I would not want to pass on.
Mm-hmm.
Are you one of those, a lot of those little dudes? It's like Curly from Mice and Men, I think his name was. Those little dudes that just don't like big guys, that are always kind of making up for the fact that they're Napoleon.
Yeah, I'm not I don't have a Napoleon complex. I'm not always trying to fight people or anything like that. I size it up. I realize that I'm gonna get beat up, or whatever. But I at the same time, I don't want my kid I guess I want his life to be as normal as possible. I don't want him to have to grow up and you have to hear oh, your dad's a D-bag for the rest of his life or whatever. So at some point I'm gonna have to become an un-D-bag on the internet somehow.
Yeah.
And the fact that they said that about Napoleon, somebody should have knocked the microphone into my teeth.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I just I had an insight. By the way, Napoleon. People say
when you're in the arts, though, it's a lot easier because a lot of actors are of shorter stature. A lot of musicians. Look at Sully from Godsmack.
I know.
He's a short guy, but he carries himself no
one's going to tell him he's short.
Yeah.
He learned how to box from an early age. Pete, you got a real busy day. I'm hearing you only have a few minutes left here, and we want to get some of this info out. Free Nokia show in Times Square today.
We are, yeah.
All Out Boy.
Yeah. We're playing at the Nokia Theater, which is pretty exciting.
For free?
Yeah, and that's what's cool about it. It's because it's when I realize as a band, when we realize there's a recession, the first thing to go is the arts, you know what I'm saying? Music, that's the first thing that really gets cut, and so it's good to be able to play for your fans and play a free show and give back a little bit. We tried to play for free at Washington Square Park yesterday. we just showed up with acoustic guitars, and the police were not happy.
It failed miserably.
Yeah, they told us we would be arrested.
When the Beatles did it and U2 did it, everyone looked the other way. But Fall Out Boy,
we showed up and we were told if we picked up our guitars, we'd be arrested.
You need a permit tax.
There's homeless people playing chess for drug money in Washington Square Park.
Jimmy, there's homeless people playing guitars. Yeah. You should have picked up your guitars and just taken the hit.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Were there a lot of fans there? Because I'm sure it got out on the internet.
Yeah,
and all that.
a lot of kids showed up, but it was really calm and it was really easy, and whatever. You win some, you lose some, or whatever. But the cool thing is that tonight's going to be free, and it's also going to be webcast in LA as well at the same time. Man. So it should be a cool, fun show.
So what do the cops get you on? Just some kind of permit thing?
Oh yeah, it's all about whether we have a permit or not. I think I don't really know. I mean,
I think just slap disorderly on anything.
I think that,
you know what? But we need a little fun out there. Let the Fall Out Boys play a little.
I don't think people like fun anymore.
No,
it doesn't seem like it. You
need a fun tax.
Yeah.
You can't just go with something anymore. Everything has to be like, all right, you got to follow the rules, you got to get your permits, got to get this.
Yeah, people
let some of this stuff happen.
People don't like free fun, at least.
Right.
They want there to be like a ticket and a wristband, and like you can buy a whatever hot dog there or whatever. It's like,
yeah, that's too bad. And then you got Letterman tonight. That's huge.
Yeah, that'll be a blast. That's always fun.
So you guys got I'm a couple things you're promoting. I'm in the website's PeteWentz.com, and you guys are tonight doing a signing at 11:30 p.m. It's at Virgin here in New York in Times Square, and it's only for an hour. So I guess people should probably get there early.
Yeah.
They're only signing for an hour tonight. And the new CD, the new Fall Out Boy CD, how do you say it?
Fully I do. But to be honest with you, if we were hanging out with anyone who spoke French here, they would tell us we were doing it wrong.
Really?
Yeah. It doesn't matter how you say it. And they think it's really funny. Like we'll go on French radio shows, and they're speaking, and then they go into this like American joke accent when they say "folie à deux."
Oh, really?
And then they all laugh, and we're kind of sitting there. We're like, and our translator's like a nice guy, so he won't be like, "Oh, they're making fun of you right now."
What does it mean?
It means the shared madness of two. So it was like a French psychological term from the 30s, and it's relevant in the way that like one person's psychosis and another person's psychosis kind of come together and create one. So you could think about it in the way of like Britney Spears and the paparazzi, or Dick Cheney and George Bush, or like it's so relatable. It's just like, and it's an untreatable thing. It's like these two people become so crazy, but it's like their own form of craziness, And I think a lot of people have gone through that in relationships, I don't know.
Yeah. It's like they say two sick ones don't make a healthy one.
Exactly.
I've heard that every single relationship I've ever been in.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, keep trying to find a sicker one. So that's what you do. It's like, because I got major problems, so you try to find someone that's more of a psychopath than you are, so you feel healthy.
Good luck with that.
Yes, and you can abandon them someday.
Hey, you're downplaying the whole thing that happened in Washington Square Park. So the cops show up, and then there was an impromptu sing-along?
Yeah, the kids were pretty cool. They Patrick was there, and we just decided we sang a cappella, and it was fun. It was a good time, anyway. And no one got arrested, so.
All right. Well, we'll get you out of here. Pete, you're all right, man. I didn't know what to think, because, you got a lot of stuff going on out there, and
right.
You're, what am I trying to say?
We enjoyed the interview.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Very honest guy. We like that. A lot of you guys come in and it's like, man, the penis thing, I don't want to talk about that. And then you sit there like, well, what do you want to talk about, dummy?
Yeah.
It's good that you're honest. So why don't we play a track from the new CD, Fall Out Boy, America's Sweetheart. Thank you, Pete Wentz.
Thanks, guys.
This is America's Sweetheart.